You've never seen him with your eyes. He wears a little red suit and a pitchfork. Plus, we play a game of death. All this and more on Good Morning City on the Hill. Good morning, City on the Hill. Welcome back to another episode. We got a lot of great things happening today. A lot of fun stuff on the show, a lot of fun things to talk about. But first, our upcoming events, because it's important to keep you up to speed. Freedom groups began this past week on Wednesday. We had 4 of them. Of course, we did the Freedom Group exposés over the last 4 weeks with Brian and Vanessa. And so those are off and running. It is still not too late to sign up for one, so if you had like a lapse in time or judgment, and you decided you actually want to join one of these groups, it is still possible for you to do that, but you need to do it ASAP because they close after next Wednesday. So be sure to do that. You can do it on the Church Center app. You can also call offices, notify. We'll get you on the roster, no problem. Come next Wednesday, 6:45 to 8:15. Second, camps are coming up along with Vacation Bible School. Of course, our kids camp this year is for kids who are finishing 1st through 4th grade or going into 2nd through 5th grade. $99 a kid. Middle school, high school, $100 a kid. I'm not going to say a whole lot more because I've got a very special guest to come on and talk about those camps here in just a little while, but they are very exciting. So mark them and sign up for them because there are limited spots. Number 3, June 30th, we are beginning a class that began it all for me on Wednesday nights that I call Putting Together the Old Testament. If you were with me in the first iteration of this class, it will be a little bit different this time in that it will be in the worship center, not up in A203. And it will be a little longer. It was only 13 weeks last time, which we covered 39 books of the Bible, all of the books of the Old Testament. I don't know how we did that in that amount of time, but I'm not trying to do it again. So probably more like 20 to 25 weeks if I'm guessing. The goal of this class is to talk about all the passages that you've probably never read before that are very weird and difficult to understand, and that's why we're going to talk about them. So sign up. The group should be open now on Church Center. It's a free class. You don't have to bring anything but a Bible. I recommend a highlighter and maybe a notebook with a pen so you can take notes. You can also notate in the margins of your Bible. That's actually what I prefer because then it's all right there. But I'm really looking forward to that. June 30th, 6:45 to 8:15 in the worship center. We'll be live streaming it as well, but come, I'd like to see it in person if you can. Last but not least, Estudio Bíblico en Español is beginning actually this Sunday, tomorrow. And so really exciting stuff for our live Bible study ministry here at City on the Hill. It's the first one that is in Spanish from start to finish. And if you're somebody that speaks Spanish either as a first or second language, or you know someone who you've been trying to get to come to church, but maybe their English is not great, but they speak Spanish, this would be a great place to plug them in, get them in the process of studying God's Word and perhaps following Jesus if they're not already a Christian. Really good outreach opportunity as well. Coming up next, I'm going to be bringing on perhaps the meekest, most soft-spoken person that I know on staff. His name is Pastor Derrick. We'll be right back. Well, here we are, the man himself, Aaron Nelson.
Hey!
This is the big ball of powerful energy that I love to refer to as our student pastor. Mm-hmm. It's good to have you on the show.
Thanks, man. It's good to be here.
Yeah. And you brought me coffee this morning.
I did, yeah. This is where a majority of my energy comes from.
It's true.
This is a coffee with 2 shots of espresso in it.
So coffee and espresso.
This is jet fuel. That's what they call it.
This is just
commonly referred
4
to.
shots of espresso and water.
It's casual.
So it's like
fine.
You and I know what's going on.
Exactly.
You know, we're aware of things.
Of course.
We're aware of things. I brought you on here to talk about Le Camp. That's French for the camp.
But of course, El Camp.
Right. Yes, that's Spanish. For
wow, the camp.
Yeah, look at us, linguists.
Right, exactly.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. So So talk about the camp. What's,
Yeah. So we've got camps.
Yep.
So middle school camp is June 28th through the July 1st.
Okay.
And then high school camp is July 26th to July 29th.
I love it.
They're going to be amazing. This is our great unveiling. Do I tell them now, or do we wait? Do we keep them on a cliffhanger?
You're the.
Or do I tell them?
You're the author of the story.
It's going to happen.
You're the author of the story.
I've
Let's
been
go for
bursting
it.
at the
Let's
seams
have
for
it.
months
Yeah.
now. So at camp this year for summer camp, we are doing a Survivor theme. It is going to be amazing. We have done so much planning. We've put so much thought into it. If you're a fan of the Survivor show, then you're probably going to be super pumped. I don't know if these kids know anything about Survivor, but after camp, they're going to know everything about Survivor.
What had happened is we forgot to budget food this year, and so we thought, how can we have camp without
We'll
eating?
work that in without.
We can do a Survivor show.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
then it's like the show.
We buy a bag of rice.
I love it.
And the kids are taken care of.
That is not true. Your kids will be well fed. I'm making that up.
So there'll be two teams. They'll be split up into tribes.
Okay.
They'll do different challenges facing off against each other. And then at the end of the day, at the end of that day, whoever loses that challenge will go to tribal council, and they'll vote for two people on that tribe to do the punishment.
I love it.
And that punishment could be sweeping the house. It could be refilling everybody's drinks at dinner. Different things like that to keep it fun. And then at the end of each camp, we're going to have the winning team vote for one person to get the grand prize.
Wow.
And it's going to be awesome.
And you're not unveiling what the grand prize is.
I'm not yet. No. We're going to hold on to that one.
Till the very
We're going to let them think about
Till
it.
the very end.
Yeah.
I
We're
like
going to let them think about it.
I like it. That's good.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome, dude. Yeah.
Solid. Solid. I like it. It's going to be fun. How much does it cost?
So I lost out on the bidding war, so it's going to be about $100 per student.
I think actually yours is exactly 100. Emma's is about
It's
100.
90.
Ours is
You're
99.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
Mine
about
is
100.
exactly 100. Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
on the
on the
dot.
mark. Yeah, exactly.
$100. One hundo. So
Yeah,
here's the
$4
thing: the camps in the past. If you're let's say it this way, if you're new to the camp game, if your kids are just now into that youth category, camps are notoriously like brutally expensive, like $400 and up, and that is not a price that in the past we have set as a church. In fact, we have budgeted in years past to knock those prices down, just so they would be like around 400, because sometimes they get up even closer to 500, which is just, again, stupid.
It's crazy.
Plus, you have to factor in chartering a bus and all the different things that are entailed in going to camp. And so one of the things that we thought about early on when we sought to purchase Refuge Ranch was that it would be a great place for eventually middle school, high school camps, kids camps, things of that nature. With COVID, obviously, it sped up the production for a lot of things that we did over there, that we had a lot more time. James, Brian, James Fleming, there's a whole list of people, the Goebels, the Trips, Ron Bright, and Bev Bright. And there's a lot more. I mean, I'm missing a lot of people. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. They were there like every week for months.
Huge fan of their work.
And huge fan of their work.
Fan.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Very well known around these parts. But they really knocked a lot out. And so we're in a place now where that pavilion is going to be rocking and rolling for these camps. And that's a game changer for us out there.
Yeah.
Last year when we did the camps, it was sort of I guess mid-COVID, like right in the middle of it, and we just made it happen. We made it work. But this year with the pavilion operating, it's going to be unbelievable. And so I can't wait.
Yeah,
I'm going to kids camp. I normally go to kids camp.
Either.
Two of mine are going. They're camp age now, which is nuts.
Yeah.
And then y'all have got two camps going, and I cannot be more excited.
Yeah, I can't either, man. I don't sleep.
Yeah.
That's what the coffee's for. I'm so excited. I haven't slept.
Non-stop.
Yeah,
non-stop
exactly.
awake.
Yeah,
Right.
just super pumped about it. So
Good. Well, all that to say, again, only $100 is a dream. And so
be there.
I do want to say if money is an issue, and even $100 is too much for you, then please contact us and let us know, and we'll work something out. We don't ever want money to be something that prevents your kid from coming to camp. So if that's the only thing holding you back, we will make something happen for you. We will make it work out just fine. But we have brought that price down that I just think is awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
There's no other camps for $100.
Yeah.
So.
Rice is cheap, so
rice is cheap, beans are cheap, so it's gonna be great. They're gonna eat well.
They will.
They're not gonna sleep well. They're gonna eat well. Man, so exciting. So they can sign up on the Church Center app.
Yes, sir.
Click on sign-ups at the bottom and register there. You can do everything from registration to payment. The whole 9 yards is done. Yeah. Anything in particular you want to talk about with regard to camp that's maybe different this year? I know you have some electronic policy stuff.
Yes, we sure do. So this year, firstly, we're going to be separating a little bit more. So we'll have a boys' house and a girls' house. Yep. So like last year, with mid-COVID, we had to do all our worship in one of the houses. So since the pavilion's there, we'll be doing all our intermingling in the pavilion. And the girls' house will be the girls' house. Nobody will go in there that is of the male gender. And then the boys' house will be the same. No girls going in there. And so that'll be great. And then this year we are implementing a no electronics policy. So if you bring your phone, that is allowed, but we will hold on to it. If you need to text or call your mom, you can do that in the evening time. But there's not even any signal out there, so there's really no point to have your phone
unless you have Verizon. There's literally no service.
It's very spotty. So we have a ranch phone that will provide the parents with a number if they need to get a hold of us, get a hold of the kids in case of emergencies. But the kids won't have their phone on them. We want them to enjoy the wild. We want them to be out there, enjoy nature, see what God's created, and be totally immersed in that, and not be distracted by their phone, distracted by music. We want them to be there.
No phones, no iPods, no Nintendo Switches.
Yeah, so that's the next thing. No video games. Yeah. No Nintendo Switches. None of that is coming at all.
Like it.
There will be none of that. Like I said, we want them to be out in nature
and connecting.
This is a wonderful opportunity for them to get outdoors and have fun, be kids.
So parents, understand this too, that obviously your kids will be probably a little upset by that. The ones at least that are used to having their phones on them. But if you can do your part in partnering with us to explain to them and encourage them in a positive light why we're doing this, that will make it much easier. And again, they can bring their phone. We're just going to keep it while we're at the camps unless they absolutely need it, assuming they have service. They don't have service, there's really no point in bringing it.
Right.
So again, unless you have Verizon Wireless, no point in even letting your kid bring a phone out there. It just ups the chances of it getting lost or broken or something like that. I would just keep it at home. But if you can just reinforce to them, you got your phone, you got your electronics every day of the week normally. This is a time to get away from that. And just the value of unplugging, it's very high.
Yeah, it is.
High. I'm really proud of the student ministry for making that decision, because I think it's one that is going to pay real dividends by the end of the camp.
Definitely, man.
Yeah. So good stuff there. Yep. I think that's about it on the camp front. If you have any questions, of course, as always, you can reach out to Pastor Aaron. Love to answer those questions and get you guys signed up. You definitely want to sign up soon. Spots are limited.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we're going to play a little game.
Yo.
It's a simple game.
I love games.
It's called Quiz of Death. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to Good Morning City on a Hill's first ever Quiz of Death. My name is Kelsey Barker. I'll be your host for this lovely show. How are the contestants doing?
We're great.
So good. Tom, thanks for asking.
Y'all come on in. Come on in. We've got a great quiz for you guys. Here's how it's going to work. So, since we're doing a survivor theme at camp this year, we wanted to give you guys a chance to survive a game. So, I have here a list of questions about how to survive in the wild. They're multiple choice. I've got the answers here. You guys will write down A, B, C, or D on your boards. You'll reveal them to the camera. For every right answer, you have the choice to put an X next to one of your fellow contestants' names. After 5 X's on the board, that person is out. The goal is to survive. Be the last one standing.
People think of me as an
Soul
outdoorsman, so this should be easy.
So this should be a breeze. What do we win?
If you win, you get a prize that will be thrown at you.
Oh, exciting.
So, are survivors ready?
Yes.
We're ready.
All right. First question. Where would you find dried tinder in the rain? I don't think this is talking about the app. A, inner bark of cedar trees. B, under rocks covered in lichen. Who knows what that is? C, under moss. Or D, ocean spray flower heads. I'll give you a second to write down your answers.
Can you repeat the question?
Where would you find dry tinder in the rain? A, inner bark on cedar trees. B, under rocks covered in lichen. C, under moss. Or D. Survivors ready?
Yes.
And reveal your answers. The correct answer is A.
Yes!
Who had an A?
Dang it!
Literally all of us, but Big Pimpin' over here.
Trash.
All right. Derrick, who would you like to write a name next to? Next to?
I'm gonna go for Morgs.
All right. We got
Morgan's
one
going
A.
That's so rude.
All right. And Morgan.
Derrick.
It's pronounced Dur.
It's
Derrick.
All right. And Sha'Micah.
I'll go for AA.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Since
You should have
the
did.
question.
Talk about
Derrick.
him while he's down.
Wow. Yeah, literally.
I mean,
Alrighty, guys.
The sabotage.
We've got Ron, Morgs, and Dare all with the
Sha'Micah's
next.
going.
Sha'Micah's the only one with that one after the first question. Question number 2. Which of the following is not a sign of hypothermia? A, shivering. B, apathy and lethargy. C, incoherence or irrational behavior. D, impairment of muscular performance. Or E, stomach pain.
Wow.
Which of those is not a sign of hypothermia? Survivors ready?
No.
Quit cheating.
I'm not.
Morgan's going home.
Okay.
Wow. Survivors ready? And reveal. The correct answer is E.
Oh!
Pain.
I'm a medic, so I should know this. I'm a medic.
All right, who had stomach pains? Aaron and Sha'Micah?
I do, yes.
All
yes,
right, Aaron,
yes.
who would you like to send home sooner?
Ooh, the question is sweet, sweet revenge or Morgs is going home.
No!
Morgs!
All right, and Sha'Micah.
You know what? I'm a triple that more.
Oh! There's an alliance of 3!
Wow.
That is so rude.
I'm singing Alliance. This is great.
Hey, convince me why I should flip.
Because we're
Convince
best
me why I should
friends.
flip. Oh! Okay.
All right. Are survivors ready for the next question?
No.
Yes.
All right, next question.
Yes, host.
What should you do
Yes, Jeff.
if attacked by a cougar?
Oh.
A.
There's so many jokes here.
I know, right?
A. Play dead. That can work either way. B. Fight back. C. Take a picture.
Yes.
Or D. Talk calmly and try to sneak away.
Can you repeat A and B?
A is play dead. B is fight back. What should you do?
I don't think any of us is Tarzan, so I don't know which y'all are gonna pick, but
All right, survivors ready?
Yes.
Reveal.
It's B.
The correct answer is B.
Yeah! It's B.
Are we doing it? Are we
Are
doing
we
it?
doing it? Oh my gosh, we have the votes.
No.
It would make, you know what's the most embarrassing part of any show? Being the first one.
I know.
Derrick wants to send more to him. And Aaron, are you going to seal
No,
her fate?
Sha'Micah has 0. You want her to win?
but then again,
She's gonna
I am the
beat you.
sweet youngest.
What will we do?
Oh, shut your mouth.
Aaron, decision time.
I might keep her alive for one more time. Give it to Sha'Micah!
I like that plan.
Give it to Sha!
Morgan stays alive. lie for this round, folks.
How many do I?
Morgan's got 4 X's out of 5.
Oh, 5.
Derrick with 1,
You owe
Sha'Micah
me.
with 1, and Ron himself.
I
also
didn't give you
with
one.
1.
I haven't.
Yeah, I know, but I saved your life. You owe me.
I know.
All right, guys. Are the survivors ready for the next question?
Let's do it.
Sure.
Yes, we are.
All right, here we
Sorry
go.
about that.
What percentage of blood loss will likely cause death? Is it A, 10%, B, 15%, C, 25%, or D, 50%? What percentage of blood loss
Blood loss.
will likely
Blood.
cause the death to happen?
Cause the death. I like it.
Quiz of death! Anyways.
You guys write down those answers, take into consideration. Morgan's got 4, might be going home this round.
Ooh,
So rude. You know, that would actually really suck.
it was.
It really
Survivors ready?
No. Okay.
All right, reveal.
Hi.
The correct answer was D. 50%. Who answered D?
This is what I get for watching all those war movies.
Did.
All right, so Eric.
Don't do it.
Derrick, who would you like to send home?
Don't. Get Sha'Micah.
Excuse me. I'm not the only one in this room.
She is gonna know a lot of those medical questions.
I literally
and
got
she's
that
gonna
one
beat
wrong.
you,
You go
and she's
first.
gonna win the $1 million.
I'll go first.
But it's
I'm gonna send Morgan
$1 million.
home.
Oh, Morgan voted off.
Well, I
Sha'Micah.
Really?
Morgan the tried to spoken.
Wow.
I'm gonna pour my.
Morgan, is there anything that you'd like to tell the folks at home as you leave the game?
This game is rigged. So, and I
He's right,
hate
we did read
my
all the
tribe
answers
base.
before.
Well, Morgan then waltzes
Sorry,
off
Jared.
into the distance.
As always, Morgan, your life is symbolized by a whiteboard. The tribe has spoken, Morgan.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow,
It was savage.
that was daunting.
that was quite dramatic there from Morgan.
That means
All right,
#1 stunner and AA
And
Ron.
AA Ron.
We're winning right now.
all right.
Hi, how are you? Sha'Micah's going.
Survivors ready for the next question?
Y'all suck. Come on. Wait a second.
Survivors ready, Jeff.
What is the most important source,
Ooh, a fiber.
calorie source,
Oh.
in survival living? A, sugar. B, fat. C, carbs. Or D, protein. What is the most important calorie source in survival living? Write down that answer. All right, survivors ready.
Hold on, give me, what was it again?
What is the most important survival?
What was C?
C is carbohydrates.
Okay,
A is sugar. B, fat.
thanks.
D, protein.
Appreciate it.
All right. The most important calorie source.
Do we want to show our answers first?
Reveal.
All right.
The correct answer is B.
No!
Oh, did anybody answer B?
Oh, you
Aaron
better bet
did.
you.
Aaron
Sweet
did.
bald head, I did.
Aaron, who would you like to put an X next to? Can't do words anymore.
Oh, that was my first go-to. Sha'Micah.
All right,
Sha'Micah's
Sha'Micah
going
gets her
down.
third X. All right, Sha'Micah, how you feeling over there?
Was that Morgan, I think, in the corner was giving you a signal.
I think she was. I think she was. I don't know exactly what that means, but
Thumbs up.
I can't speak to the dead, so.
Okay, guys. Next question. Survivors ready?
Yes, we're ready.
All right.
We're ready, Jeff.
Which method of cooking wild food will retain the most nutrients? A, boiling in a pot. B, roasting on the coals. C, pit baking. Or D, frying on a rock. Which one will retain the most nutrients? Put those questions in there. All right, survivors ready?
Yes.
Reveal. The correct answer is A.
Oh.
Boiling in a pot.
Mike's going home.
Sha'Micah's going home.
Oh my gosh. Oh that it?
Do you guys both want to put it next to Sha'Micah?
I kind of do, yeah. Is that okay?
Okay.
Can I use my marker for mine?
No, you can't.
No,
All right, Sha'Micah, you've had a good run. Anything you'd like to
He's
say to
firm,
both
but
of
fair.
them?
Hey, first and second.
Wow.
I want to just first
and second.
thank
Yeah.
Aaron.
Hello,
Good to be
it's
here.
my time. What?
Let's let the leading contestant speak to the folks at home.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Moment of silence.
Thank you for having me on this show. I love all of you out there, and I just want to say I was wrong.
That's great.
Wow.
Beautifully.
Wow. Sha'Micah, as always, your life is symbolized by your whiteboard. Sha'Micah, the tribe has spoken. You're trash.
Wow. Some hard words there. And then there were two.
Wow. It's good to be here.
Wow.
If I had to
Finally,
choose
the
one.
alliance of two will turn on each other.
Be you.
All right.
Team coffee all the way.
Here is a question specific to the state of Washington. Which of these animals is the most dangerous
Andy.
when in western Washington? A. Rattlesnakes. B. A wounded deer. C. Black bears. D. Mountain lions. Or E. Wolves. Just think of yourself in western Washington. Would anybody like to hear the animals one more time?
No.
No.
Survivors ready? Reveal!
Yes.
All right. Which one is most dangerous? The correct answer was B.
Oh, a wounded deer. You know when I heard
Washington Timberwolves. That's where
Right?
I went there.
Tell me why, host. Why would a wounded deer? Because it's
you
cornered.
know when it's cornered, it's gonna think that you're grass and try to eat you.
That must say a lot about how weak Washington is as a
right?
state.
Yes.
What are their wolves doing,
I mean,
bro?
wounded deer is probably not even in the top 5 in Texas. I would think.
No, it's not.
All right, next question,
it's not.
survivors. What is a good number of traps to set in a survival situation? A, 1 to 3. B, 3 to 5. C, 10 to 20. Or D, 143.
Wow. Very specific.
It's very specific.
That's got to be it, right?
That's got to be it.
All right. Survivors ready?
Yes.
Reveal. All right, the correct answer is C.
Oh, we're
Still not getting anything. Wow. It's like our whole motivation was beat Oregon and Sha'Micah. And now
That's
we have
it.
no
We just
purpose.
don't want to. We don't want to send each other home. That's all it is. That's all
right.
it is. We're keeping this alliance. We're
Ready for
to
the next question,
very
survivors.
end.
Here we go. Here we go. Next question here. What is the most important thing in a survival situation?
Obsidian dagger.
I mean, obviously.
A, practice and preparation. B, positive attitude. C, big muscles. Or D, excuse me, always carrying a knife. Write those answers down there, survivors. Are we ready?
Yes.
Reveal. The correct answer is A. Mark 'em up.
What was A again?
Practice and preparation.
That's true.
Obviously.
All I think of is when you're like starving.
No.
It's good to have a positive attitude.
You know, when your positive
can't
attitude
eat.
is not going to feed your starving
That's
belly.
true. You can't eat a positive attitude.
Okay, next question.
But you can't eat practice and preparation.
This one's kind of a long one.
All right,
Are y'all ready?
Let's hear it.
Your friend fell out of a tree trying to get honey from a beehive.
Morgan.
She fell 20 feet and was knocked unconscious for 45 seconds.
Wowzers.
You know from your training that she should be monitored for 24 hours.
Uh-huh.
Which of the following signs do not indicate a serious head injury?
Okay. Let's see it.
Complaints of blurred vision lasting over an hour.
Okay.
B, unusual tiredness or sleepiness. C, a headache that increases in intensity. D, burps that smell like sulfur. Or E, unusual loss of balance. Write your answer. All right, and reveal. The correct answer is D.
Wow, dude.
No burps.
What was it? Was the sulfur?
Yeah, sulfur.
That's what I thought C was, bro.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right.
Do I have a choice?
You could give yourself an X.
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it.
All right.
This is Survivor.
Mr. Aaron down to his last two.
We're not here for positive attitude.
No, we're not. No.
All right.
Practice and preparation.
There we go with the next question. Who's ready?
We're ready.
Why must you apply a traction device to a broken femur. And then this is a little bit of context here. A traction device gently creates tension to pull the foot away from the body.
Okay.
All right. A, to prevent movement of the broken leg. B, reduce bleeding into the thigh. C, reduce the amount of pain. D, to prevent further injury by spasms of the muscles. Or E, all of the above.
Read them again.
A, prevent movement of broken leg. B, reduce bleeding into the thigh. C, reduce the amount of pain. D, prevent further injury by spasms of the muscles. Or E, all of the above.
Okay.
Survivors ready?
Yes.
Reveal.
Yes.
The correct answer was E.
Both of us. We both.
There we go.
We both. Yes.
There.
I would like to, one for Derrick, please.
One for Dare.
All right, guys, here we go. Next question. Where is the best place to go looking for rocks in a survival situation? North-facing slopes. South-facing slopes. C is riverbeds. D, mountain tops. Or E, cedar forests. Survivors, write down your answer. A is north-facing slopes. B, south-facing slopes. C, riverbeds. D, mountain tops. E, cedar forests. All right. Survivors got your answers in. Survivors ready and reveal. The correct answer was C, riverbeds. And
As
with
in,
that,
as in, see ya! You want to give any last words? This was a great partnership. I
Yeah.
feel like you
Yeah.
thrust me to
Here's
the
the
top.
thing. We both went in there with integrity, and we kept that. We kept that.
Love it. We had a plan. We
Love you,
stuck
Mom.
to it.
all right.
Of
Now
course,
we have
the tribe has spoken.
the tribe has
Tribal
spoken.
council.
We have our final survivor here, Pastor Derrick. Derrick, we have a prize for you today for being the final survivor.
How exciting! How exciting!
We have
A book.
the worst case scenario survival handbook
Wonderful.
for you today, sir.
I will read it.
Coming up next, you have to endure more of us as we go into worship and weather with here the greatest survival-ist.
I just want to thank the church, thank all these wonderful people, thank Morgan for going out first.
Good morning and welcome to Worship and Weather with me, Kelsey Barker, and this guy.
Derrick Bledsoe.
And we're here to tell you about things.
I don't know that I've ever used that voice.
I don't think you have ever.
Woo!
Anyways, wow.
Must be the coffee.
What a great introduction.
Must be the coffee.
We've got some things that are happening with weather, and surprisingly,
What a vague statement.
Yeah.
We've got some things happening with weather.
it's true. Well, surprisingly, there's rain involved,
Yeah.
which I don't know.
Very
I think the last two Sundays, Derrick, if I remember correctly, in this broadcast, we have forecasted rain,
I think 3.
and then there hasn't been rain. So let me tell you, I will show the camera here. It might be kind of small for you to see. There's a 42% chance of rain according to my graphs and papers here.
It's just weatherman stuff. Nothing no big deal.
Yeah, so there will probably be some rain Sunday,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, if the last, 12 and a half years have told us anything,
Rain.
it's that there's going to be rain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. There's an 88% chance of humidity that day, and so it's going to be humid as heck.
I like it.
Highs in the 76 region, lows in the 69 region, which honestly, it is the month of June,
Yeah.
Derrick, and
is.
these are kind of lower temperatures for this month.
I know, it sucks.
Summer
because
has started.
I think when I think of the month of June, I think how could we make it better for her, and
Yeah.
you're talking about the month.
Yes, it's not my wife's month.
Sorry.
Gotcha. Every month is my wife's month.
Gotcha.
Let's be honest here, in the Barker home.
I just missed it. I just
yeah.
missed it, but
Yeah.
I'm on the page now.
It is the calendar month of June. But yeah, kind of cooler temperatures.
Right.
So usually it's about 97, 8
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
98
98 degrees,
98.
like the band.
I don't know if I know that band.
Probably not. You're a youngin.
I am a younger
You're
person.
a youngin.
But yeah, that's the weather.
I like it.
That's all we got for that.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about the worship?
I do. Worship is going to be off the chains this week.
Is it usually on the chains?
Yeah, he normally is, but it's off them this week.
Interesting.
And so we'll figure out how that works.
Okay.
But I do know that we're starting with Gone, and then we're going right into, why would you choose the song?
But
Kelsey?
it was time.
Why would you choose the song?
Yep.
We don't need to let it rain anymore.
I mean, I'm just, I'm admitting.
We've been letting it rain for like 3 weeks.
I'm admitting powerlessness over the weather. So that's step one.
Okay.
So we're just going to go ahead and let it rain, let it pour, because we need the Lord more and more.
That's true.
So
after that, I will be welcoming you. That's German.
welcome.
All of the languages this episode. After that, y'all are going to do it again.
Yeah, we're gonna do Let It Rain one more time.
Yeah. No, they're going to do the song "Do It Again."
Yeah, that's true.
Which I love. I think it's a great song. And then King of Kings,
Which is one of your favorite songs, coincidentally.
it is. I do like.
And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great Sunday. And I heard a rumor. I heard a big, juicy rumor.
Let's hear the rumor.
About the message this week. So we're, singing King of Kings, which is about God and his 3-in-1 personhood and all that good stuff. Yeah. And I heard that in our continuation of the series, All Systems Go, breaking down the systematic beliefs of the Christian faith, that we're preaching on the opposite of the King of Kings.
Yeah, this week we are studying the doctrine of Satan.
Whoa!
And
a big man in a red suit?
Yes.
And a pitchfork?
So, yeah, we're doing Satan this week. We're going to talk about the Old Testament origins.
I thought that was he who must not be named.
Yeah, no, that's Voldemort. But we are going to talk about his Old Testament origins and then how he comes onto the scene, what his operation is today, and ultimately how we as believers can counteract his schemes. So it will be, I think this week, more than probably any other week, will be a really strong mix of just like very interesting biblical stuff.
Yeah.
And then also a really good amount of practical application.
Well, it's interesting, too, because it's honestly something as modern Christians that we don't talk about a lot. Because when you come to church... you
don't want to hear about it.
You don't want to hear about it.
No.
You don't want to be reminded about how there's, an enemy and bad things happen in the world.
An ultimate source of evil and deception and betrayal.
And, that's not something that I want to hear about every day.
No.
I don't just go around to people and be like, hi, I'm Kelsey.
Right. Hi, Kelsey.
Have you heard about the ultimate source of evil and deception in the world today? His name's Satan. That's not something that happens.
That's something.
But maybe I should.
That would be really
be a good
awkward.
icebreaker.
It'd be very awkward.
But it'll be interesting to talk about it this Sunday at church.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was talking to one of our elders yesterday, Bob Hoffman, who is
Love Bob.
who is a veteran and served in Vietnam. He was in the Navy and went from, I'm trying to remember where he said they ended up, but he wasn't in actual Vietnam. He was in a place right outside, I think maybe the Philippines is what he said. But obviously very invested in the war and all that. And he said, the reason we lost was because we didn't know our enemy. We didn't know who we were fighting. Yeah. And he said, there were farmers, there were these just random people, and we didn't know who our enemy was. Yeah. And I think that's something that Christians really, really should take to heart is you got to know your enemy. Yeah. You got to know your enemy. In order to win the spiritual war that the Bible speaks a great deal about, you got to know who you're fighting and how he fights and what he does and what he looks like and what he doesn't look like. And so, it's not a message like last week talking about sin that you want to preach like every single week, right? But there is an absolute point for talking about this stuff, and knowing your enemy is important.
So would you rather talk about this more or giving? Which one is the message that you prefer?
Man, that's a good question.
In the power ranking of sermons you don't necessarily enjoy.
Probably giving, just as much as I hate talking about it, I think it is one of those things that is instructive. Yeah. Giving is not natural for people, so it's something that has to be taught. And our church has been, we've talked about it more over this last year with Planning Center and just the different things. Again, not really pressing people, but just making it available.
Teaching how to use it.
Yeah, and I think it's paid off, no pun intended, is our church has been very generous over this last year, and even given the kind of crazy year we've had. And so, I think I'd go with giving over Satan. So, I think probably that's a no-brainer.
Well, you heard it here first. But they do say money is the source of all evil. So
there's just all kinds of little gems in this one. So thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun earlier, and thank you for just being you, Pastor Precious. Thank you very much. In fact, just as we're closing this out, if you could just put our names right here and right here, and Derrick Bledsoe's fine. Pastor Precious here this time would be really fantastic.
Sign off on that.
We appreciate it very much, your attendance, and hope you have a great weekend.
Yes.
Hope it's dry. Hope we're completely wrong about the rain.
I don't think we're going to be.
I don't think we are either. But until we see you again, have a good morning, City on a Hill.
See ya.